Hey crafters, this is Nye here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to craft and assemble our 3D awareness ribbon. And so as you can see, I've got two of them here. This is a 3D craft, and so it's freestanding, meaning that it will stand up on its own, or you can lay it down, or you can put it on its side, okay? It's got enough weight and support that it will be able to support itself. And then what you can also do is you can open it up, and it could be like a box. When you go to put it back together, just take your time because you have to get this center part just lined up just right so that way it fits back together. Okay, and then so just one more thing is that when you go to make these, you can make them in any color that you want. So many of the different cancers, they have their own special color that represents that cancer. And so I made this one pink, I made this one blue. And then the one that we are going to assemble here today is I made this one burgundy. This one represents the cancer multiple myeloma, which is the one that my dad had. And he did not survive it, but he was a fighter for it. And so that's the one that we're going to assemble today. All right, so let me put these off to the side here, and then we will get started. Okay, so as you can see, I have all of the pieces, they are cut out. When you go to cut them out, you want to make sure that when you're peeling everything off the mat, you keep all of the pieces grouped together that were cut on the different mats. Okay, so all of the pink pieces that were cut, make sure that those stay together because that's just how we're going to keep them. The sizes are different, and so we want to make sure that we don't mix them up together because then you might run into some problems trying to actually get the assembly. Okay, so I'm going to put, so this was one mat. Actually, this is my blue mat, and then this one was my pink mat. And so I'm just going to put this one off to the side here, and then we're just going to work on the top one together. Okay, so let's get started. I've got my art glitter glue that I will be using for all of my gluing. I also have my bone folder here. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I might, just to make sure that I get my score lines working here. But I might just use my hands because these are big enough that it's okay. And I also have a glue stick. This one's kind of a thick one. You're going to want a glue stick or maybe a really thick paintbrush, just something that you can use. So when we go to crease the paper here, or when we go to fold it, we can roll it along the paper just to break up those fibers and to give the paper a bend, okay? So let's get started right away because I don't know if this one's gonna take us some time here. Okay. So I've got my top piece here. I'm going to wait till the end before I glue this down. Or if you want, once you have it lined up, you can glue it before you get started. I'm going to wait till the end and then get mine done. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're starting on the side that has our little score mark. So this one has my square, and then my two pieces that we're going to use to line right here, the bottom part of the ribbon, those also have a square. The first one that we're going to use has a single square, and then the second one has the two. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fold right on those score lines. All right, and so this is where I'm going to use my fingers, but when I'm finished here, I'm going to use my bone folder just to make sure that I've got it all down. Okay, so it's not super straight, but it's okay. And then I'm going to lift it back up here. Then I'm going to fold it again along the score lines. And then right here. Okay, and so now that I have them folded, I'm going to fold them the other way. And so my square here, that's going to be on the outside. All right. And let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to add it here to the tabs. And then I'm going to line it up very carefully right here in the corner. So this corner of my piece is going to line right here in this corner on the ribbon. And I'm going to make sure that I go right to the edge. And just make sure that you've got it down. And then once you do, really just press everything down right in that spot. Okay. So let me lift it up here so you guys can see it. So you can see it right along there. It's all lined up right on that line. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to add a little bit of glue along this part of the tabs there. And then once more, I'm just going to line it right up there. And then I'm pressing it on this side to make sure that all the tabs are sticking and gluing to my paper. And then for the last one, same thing, or the last side, I should say, not the last one. We're still quite a bit to go. I'm just going to make sure that, again, I'm doing the same thing. Just getting it all lined up right there. Then I'm going to, once more, just press it down there. Okay. And then once I have it, all I'm doing now is I'm going back in and I'm really just defining that 90-degree angle right here. And that looks pretty good. Same thing here with my score line. I'm going to go back, or the tab here. I'm just going to go back and forth to make sure that that one's really good. Okay, and now we're ready for the second piece, which is going to be our two squares here on this flap. Okay, so same thing again. I'm just going to fold these right here on the score line. And if you want, what you can do is once more, just use your bone folder to press it down. I'm gonna let that go this time, only because I wanna make sure that I keep the video moving. I think when I go to do the bottom piece there, I might actually just really speed it up and we'll just walk through this one really well here. Okay, so I folded it there and I'm just going back and making sure that I folded it both ways, and so my paper is really bent. And I'm going to do the same thing now that I did for the first piece. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add my glue along these tabs. Now, right to my line. I'm also going to add the glue to this part of the tab as well, because this part is going to connect. Oh, I went on the wrong side. That's okay, because I'm going to use my paper towel here. I should have done it on the other side, but that's okay. All right, I have to do it this way. So I needed to add it to this side because this part of the tab is going to connect to this part and make a seal. So you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line it up. And then I'm pressing it right in. And I'm once again going right up to the edge of my ribbon with the edge of my piece here. Okay, so you can see it's right here at the edge and I can run my finger there and it's smooth. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish off this part by just adding my glue again to these tabs, and then I'm going to glue them down. So I've got this one for the bottom. I'm pressing it also on the inside, and then I'm going to close it off right here. And just make sure that you get it really lined up right along the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in on the inside, and again, just pressing it down here. All right. Okay, so we're almost there. The hardest part is just making sure that you're getting everything right along the edge and the lines. And what might happen too is as you're gluing this part, you might find that it comes over a little bit, and that will show up here when we go to put this one on, the top piece, but it'll be okay. You just want to make sure that you get as close to the line there. Okay, so now we're ready. Oh, let's do this center part before we start to do the other one. Okay, so the smaller piece that is for the center here, two of the sides are completely identical. This one doesn't have a score line on it at all or anything, and that's okay. You just have to recognize that the two sides here are identical. And it's not the one that, this one here, it doesn't have any score lines because that's going to be the extra part that's added to the top part of the ribbon. So I'm going to do the same thing again. So lots of folding with this craft here. Same thing, just folding down these score lines. Again, folding right here and right here. And so this one here, these two that are identical, they're going to represent this part of the hole here in the ribbon. And then the longer part is going to connect the top. All right, so this is the way that we want it to go. When you're ready to do that part, oh, here it is. You want to take your glue stick now, and what we're going to do is we're going to hold it here at the edge and just roll it right to that score line. The only reason why we're doing this is, again, just to create a bend in the paper. So when we go to curve it along the opening there, it kind of is easier. Let me just put that there. And then this one's going to go this way. And okay, I'm going to have to get a little bit closer. I'm going to hope that I don't get my head in the camera as I'm doing this one. All right. So just kind of line it up and make sure too that you've got it in, you know, the ideal position. And then I'm going to add the glue here to both sides. I'm actually going to turn it to this way so I can see it a little bit more. And I'm just lining it up right along the lines. And then I'm pressing it down. Okay. And then I'm flipping it over just so I can see it on the other side to make sure that it's really all lined up. And now you can see this part here, it's going to curve right along there. And then the glue is going to, the tab and the glue is going to go right there. So I got stuck to my, there, I got glue on it. That's okay. I think it'll be hidden. There was glue on my table and it got caught on the paper. It's okay. All right. So I'm adding the glue here. And this part will be a little tricky because you've already done the one side. And I'm adding it on the inside part here of the tab. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and line it up so it meets right there, and then folding this part right on top. And then you can check it again from the front view, or the top view, I should say. And just use your finger to push it out if it's coming a little bit too far over. And then just go ahead and press it down once more on the other side. Okay. All right. So now for the big part. Okay. So again, let's fold it first. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one here. I'm going to use the bigger one first, and then just folding again along the score lines. So I'm just using my finger once more. You could use your bone folder if you want. It's your choice. And then what I'm going to do is it's going to go like this. And so this part, I want to make sure that it's going this way because it's going to glue right here. And then the rest of it's going to go like that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take again my glue stick, and then I'm just going to roll it. And again, we're just breaking up the fibers inside of the paper just to make it smooth and more pliable. All right. And that's pretty good there because you can already see the curve. Okay. I keep dropping my glue today. Butterfingers. Oh, my glue looks like it's getting stuck too, or clogged. All right. I'm going to add a little bit there. I don't know why it's getting clogged, the nozzle. Okay, let's try it again. There we go, that's better. All right, so this time I'm only going to do a little bit at a time here to start. only because I don't want to add glue to everywhere because then it'll get on the paper, and I really want to make sure that I'm getting everything lined up. So again, I have the glue here. This part's going to connect to the tab and create that seal. And once more, what I'm doing is I'm lining it up right along the edge. And I think that's all the glue that I added there. Excuse me. Okay. And then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to add the glue right here to this tab and keep going just a little bit. And then once more, it's lots of rotating with this one. I'm going to come and then just push it right out to the edge as close as possible without really going over. And okay. And then I think I only have the last two pieces right here. So I'm just going to add the little bit of glue right there just to finish it off. And then once more right along the edge. Just bring that one in just a little bit more. Right there. Okay, so you can really see the formation of it starting right now. And then for this last piece, same thing. Oh. And just pressing right along those score lines. And again, I'm going to use my glue stick here just to break up the fibers of the paper. So this one will take a little bit of time, only because each side of the ribbon, it's going to just require a little bit of patience. All right, so I've got this one here. I'm going to line it right there, and then this last piece will connect to this tab right here. All right, so I just want to make sure I've got my orientation correct before I add my glue. And then I'm going to add it to the tab right here, and then start with 3 of these first. And just pressing it down, making sure that once more I'm along the edge right there. Okay. All right, so just make sure that your tab is going to go on the inside as well. And then we're just going to finish it off right here. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the inside. And then press everything down and connect it. Okay. And if you need to, just make sure that you push it in so that way not too much is sticking out on the edge. Okay. And so that finishes the top. Whew. I don't even know how long this one was just for this one part, but I'll definitely probably be speeding up the video for the bottom because it's just going to be exactly the same. Okay, and then so if you want to, you can go ahead and put kind of like the label on top. Again, this is a personal preference. If you wanted to leave it just the way it is, without, and just kind of have the top and the bottom, that's okay too. This just adds a little bit of extra something to it. And what you want to do is just kind of get it lined up. I probably should have glued it first because it does take some time to just kind of get it in that right spot. And I might just have to glue down and then go from there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add the glue everywhere to the back. You could do yours in sections if you want, but I'd recommend just kind of doing it all at once so that way you can just be quick about it, because the more that you try to finagle with it, then you're going to end up seeing that glue is going to get everywhere, and you really don't want that. So I'm just kind of going around even here with my letters. Then I'm going to flip it. I have glue there. And then I'm going to put it down kind of quick. And as you can see, I'm kind of going quick about it. And then just kind of pressing it down and lining it up and shifting it as I need to, just to make sure I'm getting everything right to the edges. Okay, and so don't worry about the glue if it starts to seep through. Like I told you many times, if you're using art glitter glue like I am, it's going to dry clear, and so there's no worries. Okay, so here's our top. And if you want to, if you really have a lot seeping through, just dab it really quick and just to get anything extra away. Or you can use your push pin to kind of scrape some of it and get it away there. Okay, but just be careful that you don't puncture the paper when you're doing it. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this really quick before it totally dries. I used a little too much. All right. All right. Okay. So that's the top. Okay. So now for the bottom here, we're going to do basically the same thing. And for this one, I'm going to speed up the video as we go to fold this one in half. So remember, you've got your triangle for the bottom. So here's my triangle. This will be my first triangle that I use, and then my second one. So these two are the ones that have the two triangles. It's going to go, the first one will go here, and then the second one will go here. This will be the long piece that starts the curve. This will be the shorter piece that finishes the curve. And then this one that also has the score lines and no triangles will be the center piece here. Okay, so I'm going to fold these. I'm going to speed up the video. And when I go to put everything together, I'll slow it back down. Okay, so I don't know how long this video has become, but as you can see, I have finished the bottom here, and I just brush everything off because I'm OCD like that. All right, and so what I think I'm going to do is, I don't have this right now as I'm making the video, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create an insert to kind of hide some of these tabs on the inside in case you wanted to like put stuff in it. And I'll add that to the file. I might add it as an addition to the video. I'm not sure. It depends on how long this is. So when you go to just put it together, you hold the base in your hand, and then you can see that the top part here, it's going to fit right in between there. So I don't know if you can really tell this through the video, but it'll fit right in between there, and then it goes right on top. And then voila, we've got our ribbon, okay? Okay, so I went back and I made a little insert for the inside here of our ribbon, just in case you decided not to just use yours as just like a standing thing. But if you decided that you wanted to put stuff on the inside, that's okay too. So I have the little insert that I cut out. What you want to do is what we're just going to do is we're just going to go ahead and add glue everywhere on the back side, because this entire thing is just going to be sitting down at the bottom, and it's not going to come up. It's there forever. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so when you go to put it in, you might run into some difficulty here at the center part here. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger, I think, but some of it might be just because of the placement of where this is. You know, yours might not be exactly in the same position that mine is in, just because we're all going to be lining everything up here just a little bit differently, because we're all different types of crafters, and nothing is going to be as precise. My precision is not going to be like your precision is not going to be like mine. So if you run into that though, all you want to do is just kind of go ahead and just stretch it in right there. And so you can see mine's already a little bit there. And then I have a little bit of glue in my hand, and then just push it down. And then, you know, just kind of run your hand everywhere inside and just give that glue a chance to bond everywhere. And so that just kind of makes the inside of it look a little bit more pretty. You're not seeing all of those tabs anymore. You know, you'll still have them here in the top, but nobody's really going to be looking at this side. At least I don't think so. And then once again, you can just close it up, and then there you go. Okay. So thank you again for watching this video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.